What if the neighborhood busybody suddenly decided your personal safety vault was her business to control? What happens when protecting the community means armed men at your door demanding codes to your private life? And how does a man who just wanted quiet suburban peace expose the scam when the Hoa Karen turns his home into her personal power play? The afternoon sun bathed Willow Creek estates in that perfect golden glow you see in real estate ads. Perfect lawns, identical mailboxes, and an HOA rulebook thicker than the Bible. I'd moved here after my honorable discharge from the Army, looking for the kind of normal where no one asked about my past. Ryan Hale, just another guy keeping to himself. No flags, no drama. My vault in the basement stayed locked, holding the remnants of a life I'd rather forget. Until the pounding started. The door wasn't even fully open when the gun came up. Safety off, finger tight on the trigger. 5 men in black vests fanned across my porch and yard, radios crackling with static. The leader's badge was crooked, peeling at the edges. Vault code, he snapped, barrel leveled at my chest. HOA safety audit. I froze for half a second, old training flooding back. Eyes sweeping positions. One blocking the steps, 2 on the driveway, one filming on his phone like it was TikTok content, another by the idling SUV at the curb. Then she appeared behind them, Mara Voss, HOA president extraordinaire. Arms crossed, heels clicking like tiny judgments, voice dripping with that fake neighborly sweetness. Just hand it over, Ryan dear, she cooed, as if we were discussing barbecue recipes. This can all be over in 5 minutes if you cooperate. We're only thinking of the children and property values, you know? Her smile was all teeth and no warmth. I didn't move. No legal authority to demand my private vault code. This is my home. The gun didn't waver. From saccharine to steel in a blink. Authority? Oh honey, this is about community safety. Our insurance mandates verification for high liability homes. Refuse and things get. She gestured grandly toward my house like it was already condemned. We're not searching anything. For everyone's protection. One of her goons raised a clipboard like it was a warrant from God. Another adjusted his body cam. A neighbor's curtain twitched across the street and snapped shut. Typical Willow Creek. Everyone watching, no one helping. I'd replied to her previous notices in writing, citing state law and the actual bylaws. But Mara didn't do law. We've sent multiple warnings, she sighed dramatically, as if I was the unreasonable one. This is a courtesy call. Your stubbornness could raise everyone's premiums. Courtesy with a side of firearms. The dark comedy wasn't lost on me. Here was the queen of finding people for the wrong shade of mulch now playing neighborhood cop with a private army. I repeated calmly, no. Leave my property. Mara's lips pursed into that signature Karen pucker. Fine. She snapped her fingers at her crew like a movie villain. Secure the perimeter. As they backed away slowly, she tossed over her shoulder. You know, Ryan, cooperation is what makes this community great. Refusal just makes you the problem. That night, the first violation notice pinged my inbox. Firearms safety non-compliance. No real citation, just threats about insurance cancellation and liens. By morning, 2 more. Corporate boilerplate designed to feel inevitable. I didn't panic. That's what the Army teaches you. Patience is a weapon. The black SUV started appearing across the street after dark. Headlights off, silhouette inside scrolling a phone. Message received. We're watching. Old habits die hard. Noting faces. I hadn't talked about my service to anyone here. Didn't want the stares or the questions. To Mara Voss and her board, I was just the quiet single guy who mowed on schedule. Their first mistake. The next board meeting was during work hours. Smart move to keep turnout low. I showed up anyway. Fiefdom, gavel banging, skipping real discussion. She slipped in a temporary safety directive at the last minute. Authorized third-party verification for any home with secure storage. No vote, no debate. Asked. Afterward, One of her minions cornered me in the hall. Voluntary compliance helps keep costs down for everyone. He droned with a plastic grin. Refusal puts the whole neighborhood at risk. I'll take my chances, I replied flatly. That evening, a new email arrived from some insurance broker I'd never heard of. Mandatory biometric audits, monthly monitoring fees. The sender traced straight back to Mara's pet contractor. The pieces clicked. It was a shakedown. Public filings, vendor contracts. Mara's operation had 3 shell companies cycling funds. 6 figures skimmed in months. As high risk. Comply and pay or get the treatment I was getting. Something cold settled in my gut. Mara Voss thought she was untouchable, hiding behind for the community while lining her pockets. The satire wrote itself. The same woman who once lost her mind over my trash bins being out 10 minutes too long was now running a fraud racket dressed as protection. I let her escalate, threatening emergency actions, liens, even temporary condemnation. None cited real statutes. All carried the same bully message: comply now or fight later. 2 of the porch guys returned one night, standing at my driveway edge, radios on, watching. I documented silently from the window. This wasn't about a code anymore. Publicly, so the rest fell in line quietly. Then the whistleblower email hit after midnight. No name, just attachments. Unpublished board minutes, confidential contracts, a spreadsheet labeling homes, compliant, pending, resistant. My address alone in red. Another file showed revenue projections and kickbacks labeled consulting fees. Mara's own note scribbled in the margin. Break one publicly. The rest will fall in line. It wasn't rogue intimidation. I forwarded everything to my lawyer and the county investigator. Sent Mara one final email. All contact through counsel. Do not return. Her reply was instant. Tomorrow. Mandatory attendance. Dressed publicly. She still thought this was her show. The next morning, the county investigator called. Sheriff will be there as observer. Engage unless asked. I arrived to a buzzing room. Ready. Mara at the podium, perfectly coiffed, smiling like the benevolent dictator she imagined herself to be. She spotted me and her eyes gleamed with triumph. The gavel dropped. Safety meeting, she began, voice smooth as silk. We're here to discuss certain individuals whose refusal to cooperate puts our insurance and families at risk. She gestured vaguely my way without naming me. Murmurs rippled. We asked nicely. Before she could finish her performance, the sheriff stepped in. Not loud, just present. Mara's smile faltered for a split second before she recovered. This is internal HOA business, Sheriff. Not anymore, he replied calmly. The investigator plugged in a laptop. No grand speech, just cold facts. Emails. Payment logs. Address highlighted. The contract Mara and 2 board members signed with the fake compliance firm. Mandatory fees, kickbacks flowing back. Then the real bombshell. The legitimate insurer's letter. This audit is not recognized. Coverage is not contingent on vault access. Gasps filled the room. An octave. This is taken out of context. We're protecting the community. The investigator clicked to the next slide. Mara's handwritten note. Break one publicly. The rest will fall in line. The room turned on her. Is that her writing? Chairs scraped. Phones came out, now pointing at Mara instead of me. Sheriff, this is ridiculous, Mara sputtered, her Karen mask cracking into full panic. We were jested. You directed armed personnel to private homes under false pretenses, the sheriff stated flatly. This looks like coercion and insurance fraud. I was under pressure, she cried, pearls practically audible in her voice. For the greater good, 2 deputies moved in. Board members started resigning on the spot, chairs toppling in haste. "I resign," one stammered. Then another. Out. Neighbors admitting they paid the bogus fees out of fear. I sat quietly, hands folded. No gloating. Action of watching the house of cards collapse. Mara was let past me, eyes wide with realization. The quiet guy she'd underestimated wasn't so quiet after all. The sheriff's team tore down violation tags. Contractor permits revoked. No HOA could demand private security codes without court approval. Restitution for affected homeowners. As people filed out, whispers followed me. "Wait, what's his background?" "Army," I heard. Suddenly I wasn't the problem homeowner. I was the unknown who brought down the queen. Evening settled over Willow Creek differently that night. No SUV watching. I stood at my door, hand on the frame, listening to the neighborhood breathe freely again. The vault downstairs remained untouched. They'd learned the hard way. You don't own your neighbors' lives just because you wear the HOA crown. Some mistakes don't explode in fireworks. They simmer until the right person refuses to blink. In the end, Mara Voss and her little empire weren't brought down by rage or drama. It was patience, facts, and the quiet realization that fake authority crumbles when real rules apply. The lesson? The next time a clipboard Karen comes for your freedom dressed as community good, document everything, know your rights, and remember, justice loves a patient player. Stand your ground smartly. At it.